I'm carried away with my own rhetoric tonight, Mark. And I love the idea of a permanent independent counsel who investigates everybody in power. And why stop with lawmakers? Why wouldn't he get into the guys who run Google and Facebook? I mean, just sort of someone who's, isn't encumbered by the corruption of the DOJ and who has an endless budget. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, that's right, because there's millions and millions of people, and there's laws against everything. And if you happen to be the guy that they decide to look into, they can find something, or they can turn your associates, or in this case, they can put the squeeze on your lawyer, which I don't care what the congressman says. I find what happened with Michael Cohen absolutely repulsive. Lawyer-client privilege is something that was established by Elizabethan times as a basic principle of common law. The idea that you kick the guy's door down and you take everything, and we're supposed to be reassured because the prosecutor's colleague who's not working on the case will go through everything and decide what is or isn't covered by attorney-client privilege is ludicrous.
Wait. I'm sorry. I have to interrupt you there. You're not from this country, so you may not read the New York Times. But they assured us 2 days ago that if you're not guilty, you shouldn't worry about attorney-client privilege, that the president really has no cause for worry and no cause to hold on to that sacred ancient right if he isn't a criminal. So why should he be worried?
I saw that in the New York Times, and what was also interesting to me is that the story began by announcing that they'd been briefed by 3 people involved with the investigation. So we've already got 3 people leaking to the New York Times that that there's nothing to worry about, that if this other guy who goes through all the stuff does happen to come across something interesting, he's not going to leak it like the 3 guys who've already leaked it. Federal justice. I'll get annoyed because that congressman was far too sanguine, Tucker. Federal justice is a toilet in this country. It operates on blackmail because everybody knows, Michael Cohen knows that if you get dragged into court, they have a 97% conviction rate.
No,
so
that can't be right, because that's Soviet level. Is it really 97%?
That's right. Now, if they take you into court, it's 97%. And so these guys, they say, well, we lean on him, and you say you're looking at 30 years in jail. They're supposedly looking at Michael Cohen because he had a New York taxi medallion business. He ran a fleet of New York taxi cabs. You're not telling me that in whatever hotel room he was sitting at, that he had his New York taxi cab documents from a decade ago and was shredding them on the 37th floor of the Comfort Inn or whatever the hell he was in. I mean, this is corrupt, and if Donald Trump is looking for a replacement for the useless Jeff Sessions, I'll gladly volunteer, because federal justice is a disgrace and someone needs to clean. At the same time, Tucker, while I'm getting annoyed here, the FBI won't hand over the unredacted communication to Congress that started all this thing. So we have an out-of-control federal prosecutor who can seize everything he wants from his subject's lawyer, and the FBI, who work for you and the American people, won't even hand over to Congress the unredacted document that started this. Federal justice is corrupt and needs someone serious cleaning it up, and if Jeff Sessions won't do it, he should get out of the way and make way for someone who would.
I don't know why the president would need a lawyer if he's innocent. Why do any of us need lawyers if we're innocent?
No, that's true. That's true.
More Mark Steyn.
I wonder if that applies to New York Times editors and New York Times journalists. Let's all go and poke around in all their stuff. After all, if they're innocent, they've got nothing to fear.
Yeah. Give me the password to your Gmail if you're innocent.